Hiram Page and his wife, Catherine Whitmer, were among the first members of the church being baptized on April 11, 1830. Hiram is most often remembered for the incident with a black stone and false revelations aplenty received therefrom. It is because of Hiram Page that the Lord gave Doctrine and Covenants, section 28, which established a new way of governance in contemporary 19th century Christianity. No one shall be appointed to receive commandments and revelations in this church, excepting my servant Joseph Smith Jun, for he receiveth them even as Moses." End of quote. Hiram Page could hardly be blamed, and certainly his intent at the time was not malicious. Once corrected, Hiram disposed of the stone, and the revelations from Satan were supposedly burned. When Lucy Mack Smith took a group of saints to Fairport Harbor and across the lake to Kirtland, Ohio, Hiram and his wife Catherine Whitmer went with them. In 1832, Hiram followed the command of revelation and moved his family to Jackson County, Missouri. He settled on what became known as the Whitmer Settlement along with all of his in-laws. Hiram was in Independence, Missouri, when violence erupted there on October 31st, 1833. He was seized and beaten by the mob so severely that he nearly died. It is said that they only ceased the assault when it became evident that Hiram would die before he would deny his faith. He and his family were among the saints that fled across the Missouri River and into Clay County and spent the winter of 1833-34 suffering in exile in the river bottoms. Hiram was among those first families to settle far west Missouri. But then, when controversy erupted around his brothers-in-law, John and David Whitmer, and they were excommunicated from the church, the extended Whitmer family left the church with them, including Hiram and Catherine Whitmer Page. Along with the rest of the Whitmers, Hiram remained in Missouri after the members of the church were driven out by the extermination order. Hiram Page bought a farm at Excelsior Springs, just 14 miles north of Richmond, Missouri. In 1847, he became associated with William E. McClellan and McClellan's efforts to start up a new church. He wrote a letter to William McClellan in May 1847. In that letter, Hiram made this most telling statement, quote, "As to the Book of Mormon, it would be doing injustice to myself and to the work of God in the last days to say that I could know a thing to be true in 1830 and know the same thing to be false in 1847. Numerous witnesses attest that Hiram Page never denied his testimony of the Book of Mormon down to the very end of his days. On August 12, 1852, it is reported that Hiram Page was killed when a wagon on his farm overturned on him. He was buried nearby on the farm of his son, Philander Page, in Ray County, Missouri. That farm would later be purchased by the Fulkerson family at the turn of the 20th century. The Fulkerson family knew the name of the man who was buried on their property, and they cared for the grave, but they knew little of the significance of the man buried there. The grave of Hiram Page was lost to the rest of the world. Finally, in 2000, the connection was made, and the grave of Hiram Page was found and appropriately marked at last. He was the last of the 11 witnesses of the Book of Mormon to be found. The man was lost, but not his testimony. Not then, not ever. He never denied his testimony of the gold plates and of the Book of Mormon. That book is true.